Hello friends, thank you for watching this vlog about Ukraine and situation around Ukraine. As usual, we'll talk honesty, rational and pragmatic about our situation, our circumstances. The first thing which I wanted to talk, the future resignation of Minister of Culture and Information Policy of Ukraine, Alexander Tkachenko. President of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, asked the Prime Minister of Ukraine to elaborate the decision for such type of resignation for firing the Alexander Tkachenko. With Alexander Tkachenko, we connected a lot of political and corruptional scandal during the last years. Moreover, he made the decision to be fired in this position, this post, in 2021 yet, but in that time this decision wasn't made by the Prime Minister of Ukraine, by the government of Ukraine. Nowadays, situation looks quite another. Nowadays, Tkachenko became very toxic person for the government and for President personally because of many reasons. Because of the corruptional reasons. Tkachenko, for example, was claimed of unlaw against the law building of his private house in the natural zone near the Kyiv. Tkachenko was also claimed in the corruptional spending of money for the mass media, for the new filmmaking process. Also, there was a very bad situation with Odessa Film Studio, which was corrupted and which was destroyed during the Tkachenko's doings in his post. A lot of scandals with the passionate part of Ukrainian society. I'm talking about the Poroshenko's team and the people who criticized a lot Tkachenko on the topic of national marathon, or about the guests, about the interpreters in the national marathon, and a lot of things, a lot of claims to the Tkachenko. And but I think the main reasons, the real reasons of this dismissal is quite reason. The first reason is the struggle, competition against the future of the national marathon. National marathon, this is combined TV fear of few Ukrainian channels which have broadcasting on all the territory of Ukraine. I want to remind you, my friends, that all the TV channels of Ukraine are prohibited in working during the war, except of one channel, except of one state combined channel. And Minister Tkachenko was managing this national marathon, very influential tool. If we are talking about the political process, and of course there were a lot of people, a lot of political players, a lot of economical players who wasn't agreed with it and who trying to move the Tkachenko from this post because of extremely high level of influence of this TV channel, of this TV tool. And the other reason, of course, money. Money because of Ministry of Culture, now even in this situation, spending a lot of money for filmmaking, for reconstruction, buildings, and so on. We are talking about billion or even more Ukrainian hryvnias, and this money were spent for the different part of humanitarian elites, for the different cultural groups, and it was also a part of a big competition between them. And the other reason is the competition inside of the team of President of Ukraine, because there are a lot of people who wants to become a next Minister of Culture, who want to take over the control of the national marathon. For example, maybe Mr. Podolyak and so on. And it looks like the Ministry of Culture, we are talking about the Tkachenko, is not suitable for the presidential team for nowadays more. Of course, it's this decision on presidential mood. It's not our deal to criticize or to approve this decision, but unfortunately, it's very sorry for me that these decisions are making from the 2 points, from the points of PR, is person toxic in public or not, and from the point of the personal loyalty to the president. This personal loyalty became a problem for Ukrainian ambassador in Great Britain, Mr. Vadim Pristaiko, who said that after the conflict between the president of Ukraine and the public conflict during the NATO summit in Vilnius between the president of Ukraine and Ministry of Defense of Great Britain, Wallace, when the president of Ukraine said that he is going to thank Mr. Wallace every morning. And Vadim Pristaiko, the ambassador of Ukraine in Great Britain, said in his one comment for the Britain mass media, said that I don't think that kind of sarcasm is healthy. So, not healthy sarcasm made a deep influence on the career perspectives of Mr. Vadim Pristaiko, and he also was fired by the president of Ukraine because of lack of loyalty. It looks like so. I want loyalty and PR position. It's important, of course, but I want, and I believe the most important is a professional background for person and anti-corruption attitude. But no one in Ukraine was fired for the corruptional attitude from the last times. Why do? I hope in the future situation will be changed. Also because the situation in the front line, the Russian-Ukrainian war, is still very dangerous. Ukrainian counteroffensive operation more and more looks like Ukrainian very slow moving to the sea, to the Azov Sea, but without any recognized perspective to the fast achievement of results. Why it happened? We talked a lot about the mines, artillery, and so on, but I want to emphasize a few strategic things which are playing against Ukrainian counteroffensive operation. The first thing that this counteroffensive operation was not a surprise for Russia. A lot of political and military experts talked in different TV shows about these directions which Ukrainian army are offensive and advancing now will be the main direction of counteroffensive operation, and there were no one surprise for Russian army. Russian army very good prepared the battlefield with the mines, trenches, artillery positions, and so on, and it's very difficult for Ukrainian troops to make any advance in such conditions. Moreover, if we are taking into account that situation that Ukraine has no any privilege over the Russian forces in the artillery, in the aircrafts, in the amount of the soldiers, and only the military intelligence and the professionals of Ukrainian soldiers maybe are on the Ukrainian side. All other things, resources, methods of leading the war are on the Russian sides. And these are the big problems for Ukraine, of course. Also, the lack of time, because overestimated willingness of Ukrainian society to make this counteroffensive operation, and also estimated intentions inside of Western allies of Ukraine pushed this counteroffensive operation, but Ukraine had not enough time to prepare the big resources for this counteroffensive operation. The Western support is not big, and it's not systematic. Is not rhythmic in this situation. Russian air and bomb strikes also made a bad influence of preparation for this operation. And in this situation, we started our counteroffensive operation in situation when we are not good prepared for it, and when we are not have the good resources for it. So it looks more and more that Ukraine will not be able to achieve all the main goals in this counteroffensive operation, and we should make a prognosis, should calculate the situation for the autumn this year in such conditions. Of course, Ukrainian troops are continuing to their very slow move on the Zaporizhia front and around the Bakhmut, but no one settlement was captured during the last 2 weeks, for both sides also. One more important thing for this week, and of course we are talking about the grain deal, which was broken in 17th July. This grain deal was working during almost 1 year, from 22nd of July last year till the 17th July of this year. This grain deal was very successful for Ukraine from the economical side, because we sold our grain, our wheat, for more than 10 billion United States dollars, and it's very helpful for our economy, for our state budget. But Russia made a decision to didn't continue this agreement. Why? There are a lot of reasons. There are formal reasons, such type like an attack for Crimea Bridge, but there are also informal but very reasonable reasons. The first reason, the Russian demands for this grain deal hadn't been succeeded. I'm talking about the demands of lifting sanctions for the Russian Agriculture Bank. I'm talking the demands on the lifting sanction on the insurance, shipping companies, and so on. Russia demanded to open the place for her agricultural export. Moreover, Russia made even an memorandum with United Nations, but this memorandum also hadn't fulfilled, and this is the main reason why Russia stopped this agreement. Moreover, the election in Turkey also finished, and Turkey, like a main negotiator between the sides in this topic, also has not so many reasons to continue this deal. Moreover, situation looks like Russia and Turkey made an official agreement about the compensation by Russian wheat, Ukrainian wheat, which Turkey obtained before this time. Although the problem is that Russia is trying to dry Ukrainian budget, trying to dry Ukrainian economic system, because we have a situation with the war for existence, and Russia is trying to make a lack of financial support of money in Ukraine, inside of Ukrainian financial system, and to put these expenditures for supporting Ukrainian state, Ukrainian society, more expenditures for Western Ukrainian allies. But in any case, many countries are still interested in continuation of this grain deal. I'm talking about, of course, China. I'm talking about Turkey, Holland, African and Asian countries. There is a good chance to restore this agreement in the same time with maybe a new, more comprehensive and compromising base. But without the role of China, I think the continuation is this new role and prominent role of China. This new agreement probably will not be so successful. Ukrainian president said that even taking account the Russian refusal to continue this deal, Ukraine will continue the export of Ukrainian agricultural production. Russia, after this announcement, started a 2 ways big campaign of bombing and destroying Ukrainian ports infrastructure. 2 days we had a massive attacks on Odessa, on Mykolaiv, and in other ports of Ukraine. These attacks was goal-oriented on the port infrastructure, all the storages of the waste, and so on. Russia is trying to show that without Russia, Ukraine will not be able to make any export of our agricultural products. Of course, Ukraine has another routes for this agricultural export. We are talking about the Dunai river ports, we are talking about the railway roads, and we're talking about the ordinary roads for the big cars. But these ways are not prepared very good. All the sides, all the world is good prepared for the new situation. Many countries growing their fields for the waste, for the grain production, and they are ready to take the role of Ukraine in the international markets. But Ukraine is not ready, and this year was not used to be prepared to ready of the new situation, to be ready for the situation when our seaports are blocked. And it looks like we will obtain a new economical damage, and the deficit, the gap in Ukrainian budget this year will go up again. Okay, friends, thank you for watching this vlog. Don't forget to subscribe. Please write down your question. I will try to answer for them honestly as usual. And see you again next time, next Friday. Bye-bye.